Hey folks, welcome back. This is Dad's A to Z. Two dads think they know everything, and today I got a question for him. Z.
Go. No.
No. Thank you. Subscribe, like. The topic, and we spend a lot of time separately because we like to try to have a genuine response, trying to think of different things to talk about. And I started thinking of what are some things in your life growing up that you feel on whatever level, whether it's very superficial or very deep, is important for your child that you've experienced or done that she needs to experience or do. For an example, just to give it a superficial thing.
Deep question.
My kids, I'm a Star Wars fan. They had to see episodes 4, 5, and 6. I was younger than, I think I was in kindergarten.
Tell it to my wife.
Yeah.
She still did not watch it. It's okay.
Somebody needs to catch up on that Star Wars universe. What are some of those things that should be experienced, in your opinion, that your daughter, in your perspective, needs to experience?
So, to be completely genuine, I'm going to talk about. So there's probably a gazillion experiences that I can just now sit and think about and be really mindful of it. But the first thing that comes to my mind that I think I wasn't really in early childhood, but I was in beginning of end of what would be middle school here, beginning of high school. It was traveling.
Okay.
And not traveling from Orlando to Miami. It's like seeing different countries and different cultures and learning about it. And so I had I was pretty blessed to be to live, first of all, live in Europe and everything is within a driving range. And then I was in a high school that had the field trips where every year were to a different European country. and it was so good because what I noticed a lot of in today's age, like xenophobia and just the fear of the other, or not to get into politics, but fear of immigrants and thinking different, they're third world countries and all those things, thinking you're better than others. All that was in Serbia as well. You think we are the best that exists, And then I traveled everywhere. Hungary, Greece, Italy, Spain, France, England, everywhere.
I've been to Canada.
And I gotta say, it was an unbelievable experience. And so this happened, I was let's say 15, 42, so 27 years ago. And I can tell you how the rain felt when I visited Venice for the first time.
Really?
Yeah. It's the things that stick to you when you are experiencing something that profoundly changes your outlook on the world. It just sticks with you. I just remember it was a rainy day and tourists everywhere and nobody wanted to go walk around the Venice because it was raining. And me and a couple of my friends, we just walked around soaking wet because it was just raining. And I can remember how drenched I was, how it's just it's just unbelievable. And then, for example, I was always loved history, and more specifically ancient Greek history. So when I visited Greece and saw all those things in person, it was just mind blowing. Seeing a piece of architecture that's been there for 3,000 years. It's just unbelievable. I just read in a book last year, and I'm standing in front of it, and this happened when I was 15. I went to Greece when I was 15, and I remember how the Athens looked like. I remember the bus we took to go to see the Acropolis. All those things, it just stuck in my mind. Not that just enriched how I like my knowledge about the other countries, but just I think it helped me become a better person.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a friend that never traveled, which is difficult when you are in Serbia because it's like you're just surrounded by everything.
You just take a 5-minute walk and you're in a different country.
Yeah. Well, politically, we had some issues in the 90s. We couldn't really walk another country, but that eventually
You could see them.
stopped, and you could have went to other countries. But it was the level of xenophobia, for example, in some people is because in talking about not the United States, although you can apply it however you want it. It's because people just never traveled. They don't know what the other cultures mean and look like and think, and it just helped me become very open-minded and accepting. And 90%, like, okay, my parents raised me that way too, but 90% I put that on because in like 5 years I visited like 15 countries, and I think it was wonderful. And I feel like my daughter probably should get to experience that, because it's if I'm still remembering what happened 27 years ago, I think that's like pretty impactful in your life of what it meant. And I don't know. It's been great. I still think about it, and I still want to do more. You know, like I've never been to Rome. I've been to Venice, never to Rome. Like, you know, so I want to try all those things, and I want to maybe take her with me, and she can, well, not with 5 years old. She's not remember nothing, but maybe later, and help understand that, you know, we're all different in the way we eat and the stuff we drink and the way the size of our apartments and houses, but in a nutshell, you know, we're all coming from the same egg, and we are same people. And
how crazy you could do that in the United States, all in the same country, and experience very different.
Very different, yes. You can experience very different, but you're still the same. Like, you know, like it's I remember first time.
That xenophobia isn't as prevalent,
yes,
because, oh, you're from Florida, I'm from Nebraska.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the first time I went, like, again, 27 years ago, I was in Athens in Greece, and we went to eat something in some restaurant. And it was the first time I used English to communicate with another person that didn't speak my language. And it was just, you know, like, I was so proud of myself because I just did it, you know, and it was great. And those little things, just the little things, you know, like, and this was without parents, so it was a school trip, so we were like, you know, on our own, like, the teachers didn't care. So it was we were on our own and experiencing all that, and you have your own money, and you got to manage. You got money. 2 weeks in France, that's all money you got. There's no more. And this is like 20 years ago. There's no like, I'm going to wire your money. Like, that's
right.
it. You got cash. That's it. So it was super, super interesting to, like, you know, to feel like, for the first time, feeling like a grown up, you know, like I'm managing my own money. I can go wherever I want. I can go, like, well, I wasn't drinking at 15, but I can go eat whatever and travel and do something, watch a movie, I don't know, whatever. It was really liberating and like life changing. And I gotta say, like, you know, like every time was traveling was the thing that kind of changed my mind on something. Like, for example, never wanted to go to England. I was so like weather centric. Like, I was like, it's terrible weather. It's raining all the time. I just
That's a very deep reason.
It was the only reason, really. I will go to Spain and Italy like anytime.
I say that, but I moved to Florida because I don't like the cold.
But like, not just cold. England just sucks. It's like windy and rainy, and it's just terrible. It's just terrible weather. And I didn't want to go ever. It was it was the last country on my list to visit
Until
I got a chance to go and participate in some political events. We'll talk about it later. And I went to London. It was 2005, and I fell in love with it.
Really?
Oh my God! Like the moment we landed, that was it. I did not care. It was rainy or cold or windy, or like, did not care. Like, it was.
Is that when you got infected with Chelsea?
No, I was Chelsea. I was a Chelsea fan before that. That was the year. That was the year that actually Chelsea won the title after 50 years.
Oh.
And
So he's a front runner.
it was it was a great experience to have. Actually, first time in London, and Chelsea wins it every after 50 years. And my hotel was like 100 yards from the Chelsea stadium. Chelsea didn't play in London to win the title; it played Bolton. But like it was, see, I still remember it was 2005, and but again, completely changed my perception. Completely. I will go if you offer me go. Let's go London tomorrow. Pack my bags. Here you go. You know, and then you understand, like you learn how different cultures work, how different people work. Like, you know, like I loved London, but then like, for example, if you say, you didn't ask me, but I'm going to ask myself, one city you would go and just that you can move to and that's it, would be Barcelona, for example.
Yeah.
I would just unpack my bags and that's it. It's just like, you know, like Spirit City. And all that, I learned all that because of traveling. I would never know I liked Barcelona, or that I didn't dislike London as much as I did, or that Italians are just crazy. They're just crazy, and like nice crazy. And you know, like all those things, like, you know, like the real Italian pizzas, and you know, like in Serbia, and I don't cringe at this, you eat pizza with ketchup. However, not
the first time I've heard that.
ketchup, not like ketchup here. It's more tomato. It's more tomatoey. Like it tastes more like
Not
tomato.
full of sugar.
Not full of sugar. Yeah. So more tomato, but it's ketchup. It's called ketchup. So when we went to Italy and my friend ordered pizza, he's like, "Can I get ketchup?" And like the server was like, wanted to slap him. Like, you don't eat ketchup with pizza. No, but those are things that I would never experienced if I've never traveled. And you know, like all those the enrichment in my life because of that, I just think it's because of traveling. And I think my daughter, if she can. It's a cliche, like, oh, I want to take a year off and travel Europe. Oh my God, I would sponsor it for her. If she can do it, I would just be like, yeah, screw college, go travel Europe. And I would be okay with that. Europe, Asia, whatever, doesn't really matter.
Just travel.
Just travel.
Experience
Just
something.
travel, experience something, because I think it's wonderful seeing how different cultures are the same people.
I'll tell you that for my kids, they have to be in the service industry at some point. Whether it's working in a kitchen as a server, bartender, busboy, busgirl, behind a counter, somewhere where they have to interact professionally, or in an environment where people tend to be kind of
Terrible.
crappy.
Yes.
It really teaches you a certain level of self-restraint. It really teaches you a level of perspective. One of the things I would say, you know, I worked for chain restaurants. They don't have the best, you know, everyone goes to chain restaurants because they're whatever dish. You know, it's a bloomin' onion thing, or it's sesame jack things. It's whatever it is. But it's not typically known as a place to the general public. But working in that type of environment, you realize that I worked at a barbecue place on the Jersey Shore, RIP Southern House, burnt to the ground. That you know, people saved to go to. When I worked for the chain restaurants, they went there for Valentine's Day, to which I would never go there for Valentine's Day. I'm going to a nice restaurant. Well, that's somebody's nice restaurant. And it was working in the environment that made you appreciate the customer in that way, despite their crappiness. That it's a special moment for them sometimes. Conversely, you meet the most eclectic variety of people and have to learn to work with such a variety of people. Because let's face it, restaurant people, we are not exactly the most level people on the planet. They're going to be crazy people. There's going to be people that are, you don't know if they're going to crack and stab somebody, you know, or they're just going to break down in tears. And at the end of the day, everyone just laughs it off and moves on and says it the next day. It's a character building type environment. And what you do is very similar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And honestly, that idea of saving up really applies a heck of a lot more to your environment than it does to a chain restaurant environment. So sometimes that thing that as a kid, you might think, well, all right, so your burger's overcooked. or the toy I just bought in the store, it's broken a little bit. You're like, all right, we'll fix it. To them, like, all right, well, now you got to recook the burger. I, I'm trying to make a movie that we're going to. You got to start understanding people's perspective and take a beating while doing it sometimes.
Yeah, teaches you to be more humble, and I guess be maybe nicer to people when you see how people are not nice to you sometimes.
Yeah, it's one of the funniest moments I've always had in my life is employees coming up to me after dealing with a particular, problem guest and saying, "I don't know how you just did that." And you just learn,
Oh yeah, it's just second nature. It's second nature. We were buying some furniture a couple months ago, and we were walking into the furniture store, and two people are. As I'm walking into the store, I hear yelling in the store, and two people are cursing out, and I guess something of them they didn't want to wear a mask or something, whatever it is, something ridiculous. They're coming out and making a scene, and the manager is like escorting them out, and he comes to me and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, you have to see this." And I'm thinking like, "Oh, dude, it's fine."
You don't even know.
You don't even know. I just had it like 2 hours ago. So I understand the service industry, any service industry, like retail, restaurants, whatever it is. I just understand them better. Like it's it's like I feel them like I get it, and I'm never gonna like be like mean to you. Like ever in my life. And I agree, that's a probably good experience for kids to have, to learn that. I don't know, it's a humility, it's to be humble, to
In service to someone.
to work those kind of jobs, and to like understand that you shouldn't be treating others because I don't know, the burger is uncooked or something.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a job. It could be at a soup kitchen.
I don't know, yeah. But a job is I think it's a pretty good thing, because you learn. I think job is volunteering is maybe other thing that's an interesting point, but I think job is good because you have to learn that. First of all, there's some jobs that are not worth it, the money, but also some jobs that helps you learn the life skills later in life, and I've been 10 years in the same position right now, and I can't imagine a situation with a customer that I wouldn't be able to resolve.
Oh no, I've been threatened to be stabbed. Police arrived just in time. A guy was taking his pistol out of his trunk. You can't surprise me.
Yeah, so I
I've
I
dealt
can,
with it all.
and I think it's great, to have that, and that you can apply that for everyone, for your neighbors, for anybody. Like I just can't. It's a life lesson. It's a real, maybe not 10 years to work it, but it's a life lesson. What if why not? Like it's not, I don't mean to job shame, because I feel like any job is a good job. Like you can, whatever
Right.
it is, it's a good job.
You can support yourself and not.
If you're supporting yourself, go for it. Maybe it's not for me, but like just go for it. So I think that's a good one.
I think there's a lot of confidence to be built with that as well, because I grew up more shy. I have a more dominant personality, but it was a shy dominant personality, and it taught me how to stand up for myself more strongly, more directly, because you start to learn the human psyche a little bit, and you realize that this person is being unreasonable, and you start to recognize the cues where I have to take it right now, or you know what? No, I don't have to take this, because I've kicked guests out before, and I know this is your job, and like I just said, this might have been a big moment for them, and they came in, but don't start cursing out my staff.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go.
There's no reason to be a dick to people.
But
Pardon my French.
it's
Some people are just like
yeah,
that.
it is.
I
what
think
it is.
I think what it helps is like, so for example, I'm a talking about extroverted and introverted people. I'm a way introverted. But a lot of people associate introvert with antisocial, which is not really. It's not the same thing. Like introvert, like I just don't want to talk to people all the time. I to recharge my batteries, I need to like be alone. But this kind of environment taught me to be an introvert with great social skills. I can fake it. I can be honest. I like whatever. Like you name it. Like it's there, and I am like at the forefront, I don't want to, like, if I can choose, I would not be talking to people. And that's, I do all that all day long.
These
That's
jobs turns us into psychopaths.
Yeah.
We just fake the emotions.
pretty much, I kind of enjoy it, but like, I don't know how to explain. I enjoy doing it, but it wouldn't be like, if I can pick without either doing that or just being by myself, I would just choose being by myself. If I can get paid same money,
Right.
sitting at home being by myself, that'd be great. But I know that's not a reality. But it like teaches, gives you like, I think it's a good point. Like the service industry gives you a lot of life skills, on how to handle everything. And I think that's a good point.
All right, so let's start winding it down. I don't want to just keep it deep. More superficial. What's something else? Like I just mentioned Star Wars as an example.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, for me, I mean, you can go into movies, you can go to music. I tried with music. At this point, they make fun of some of the bands that I like. My daughter actually was berating me yesterday about how every Alice in Chains song sounds the same. And I said, well,
Oh, that's. But Billie Eilish is not.
I said, that's exactly who I used. And she went, oh, you did not just say that.
That's exactly how it sounds.
But I mean, there's
Although I just listened to one Billie Eilish song, but it's fine.
awful. They're going to see some movie next week
Okay.
with her, and I'm sure that's going to be just great. But Tombstone, the movie Tombstone, comes to my head. There's just something about that. I took my son to go see Die Hard. It was at the local theater, you know, a throwback movie. You have to see Die Hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he loved it, you know what I mean? It's just, there's so many different things that I tried to have them see. You ever see Monty Python, The Quest for the Holy Grail?
Oh my god, I love
Okay,
Monty
and most
Python.
people our age that have that.
Yes.
I said, you got to see it. It's so good. Oh,
No.
oh my gosh. It was this.
Oh yeah. But it's like it's
Thrown up.
it is a dry British humor. Like it's like you gotta have it's not for everybody. It's never been for everybody.
No.
It's never been for everybody. Like it's there's one joke that I would like to tell, but it's not PG-13, so just get over it. It's about Americans and Monty Python. But anyways, I'll tell you off camera. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm a boring person in that sense. Like I've never had anything like that in that sense. That was like, oh, you gotta do this. I've never.
Maybe
had.
you haven't gotten there yet.
Maybe maybe not.
Because
don't
I know I wasn't thinking about it when my son was 5.
And maybe that was maybe that's why, because like she's not gonna any of my interests. She's not gonna.
You know, that's not true.
No.
You know, they play with toys. Well, I like superhero-y type stuff, and I'm a DC guy. So
I'm sorry.
you have the Snyder Cut is going to be good. I hope. He had to have the Justice League toys, and I was, but that was with a boy, and not to Mr. Potato Head, excuse me, just Potato Head it. Maybe you just haven't had that.
Maybe
right
it just
moment
didn't
yet.
happen. Yeah, probably didn't just happen. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing I have some interests like too, but nothing comes to my mind right now that is like superficial. Mostly more like deep stuff that I would like her to be exposed to, but nothing like in that sense. Probably like I would like, not my daughter. I would like my wife to watch Star Wars, so we can
Again.
so we can watch Mandalorian. Because I haven't watched it yet, because I'm waiting for her to watch Star Wars, because I like to share that, but obviously it's not happening.
And I can't talk to him about it at all.
Can't talk. I'm just gonna give up on her. And
What
just
about
watch.
WandaVision?
I haven't watched it yet.
Ugh.
I'm off next few days. So
We do a lot of talking here, but I can't talk to him about any of this stuff.
Maybe next few days I have some time off, so I'll catch up on. I'll just put Star Wars. I'll just play it. If she watches it, she watches it. So
Hey, that's
like
Luke,
9.
That's Luke Cloud Tripper, right?
Yeah. 9
that's
a.m.
it.
episode 5. That's it. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Maybe it's gonna come. Maybe it's gonna come up at some point. I think.
It's exciting for
Yeah,
me, and I think that's why it kind of popped into my head. Thinking of topics, and this. I forget. I think it was a TV show that I was thinking I wanted to have them watch, and it's got me starting to think about the other things I've tried to get them to see and that meant something to me, and trying to have it mean something to them. And some of it, you know, they'll realize it's important, like going to see Die Hard. Why would
Yeah, they'll.
he was 15? Why would a 15-year-old be interested in
Yeah.
going to see Die Hard in a theater? You know what I mean?
Was it Christmas time?
I don't remember if it was Christmas time. I think it was November.
It's still debate like it's Christmas movie now?
Bruce Willis said it's a Christmas
It's a
movie.
Christmas movie. Okay.
So
got it.
I mean, you got to believe him.
Got it. Although I have to tell you, I listened to one podcast. It's called Smartless. Not that one I advertise them, but it is 3 celebrities. It's Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and Sean Hayes. Just bring up guests and talk about stuff. It's entertaining. And one of their guests was Billie Eilish, and she's a pretty cool kid. Music, not so much.
No.
But like she personally, like because the podcast is very like personal. It's not like interview like a journalist asking questions and stuff like that. It's just like very friendly, relaxed, informal conversation. And she's a pretty cool kid.
I think you'll see there's so many people. I know Post Malone. I think he's an interesting dude.
Yeah.
I can't stand the music, and I think he looks like a comic book character. But who cares? He's an interesting dude.
Yeah.
Every time their song, even my wife got hooked on one of his songs. It's trash. I can't. Billie Eilish, I'm sorry. My daughter loves you, and I don't stop her from listening to you. But I can't.
She's like 19, 17. Well, she's like she'll make good music later.
Maybe.
Yeah, but she's like a kid. Like what?
It doesn't matter. You're never going to convince me otherwise.
I will.
Convince us. What's something that you have to have your kids experience that their life won't be complete unless they experience in your eyes? Put it in the comments. And while you're there, there's a little bell type thing. It's
Is it
usually
subscribe?
right
Is
around
it
there.
subscribe?
Subscribe, yeah.
I don't know what
I'm not sure which side it's on. Like it, share, and please tell us what you think. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Bye, folks. Thank you very much.
See you next time.